Hey fashion lovers, welcome back to my channel, and today it is this two-piece that we'll be cutting in this video, the shirt and the top. If you have not subscribed to the channel, guys, do subscribe, okay? And if you can, be a member. Now for us to cut this, we will be using 100% Ankara, all right, to cut this is two-piece. It's a strapless top, and at the same time you can see it is a free top. Okay, it has a short, the short has pocket. Now this is the measurement I will be working with. All right, shoulder 16, bust 48, waist 36, hip is 40. We just divide by 4. You do not need to add anything. The half length is 17 and the blouse length is 27. All right, these are all the measurements. Just divide the waist, bust and hip by 4. Do not add any allowance, leave it the way it is. Okay, so let's move on to the fabric. Now this is the fabric I decided to do with this with. It's 100% Ankara. It's 3 yards, that I have left. I use this pattern, this flowered pattern, for a pattern dress. Okay, so what is left is what I'm using. Now I will be using my pattern paper so you get to understand. Right, fold your pattern paper into 2. As a beginner, please use pattern paper. The first thing I marked is my shoulder, which is 8. All right, the next thing, this placing is important. When you place your tape like this, you can see I started from 4. I did not start from the beginning of the tape. I started from 4. This is how I placed my tape. It is very important. It's a strapless dress, and you can see it didn't start from, there's straps on the shoulder, but it didn't start from the, all right, there's no shoulder. Okay, so I marked my armhole depth. I used 9. Okay, here right now I marked 9, and I equally marked my half length, which is 17. The remaining will be the blouse length. Okay, here is the waist, and here is the hip, and here is the bust. It is very important you place your tape this way. It's more like an illusion. It is there, but it's not there. Okay, now right at the B, before marking our bust, let's mark the same shoulder and connect it straight. Then you mark your bust measurement. My bust is 12. I marked accurately 12. Okay, I will use tape and connect it. Is an A-line gown, top. Is a free top, a strapless A-line top. Okay, once you mark your bust, the next thing you need to do is take your tape and connect it to the end of the fabric, the end of the line, just like I did. You can see how it is. It's an A line. Or A line, you have to, curve this part so that it will not be too sharp. That is what I just curved right now. This is how it looks. All right. Now, remember what I did. I placed my tape this way. It is very important. This is how I placed my tape. I started it from 4. That's 4 I placed is the chest part, the shoulder to the chest part that is not there. They use rope, to include, add it up more like. Okay, now this is how it looks. Now let me check my waist and hip. You can see the SS. You can see the SS. It is A line. So I'll just take it out. Cut this part, this curve part. It is very important. Now it is ready. Okay, so I will use this fabric, fold it. Okay, I will fold it before placing it to trace. Now I will be tracing it accurately, exactly. I do not need to consider anything. Now if you watch the neck, the chest part of the top, you can see it has this drawstrings on the neck part of it. That is why I went for the shoulder exactly. You can go more, you can increase it, you can decide not to use the shoulder. All right, but the reason why I went for the shoulder, it is excess already. So with that 8, I can easily bring it together and give it that drawstrings effect, gathers effect in the front and in the back. Now this is the front that I'm about to cut. Cutting it, I left some space for the folding. The front will be folded because we will be adding rope. Okay, you can see my cutting. I just left some space. The same thing I will be doing here is this is more like a sewing space. Why I told you not to add anything is because it is A-line. In fact, it is only the hip, the bust part that we need to project. You need to give space for the bust. The waist and the down part needs to be big, bogus, but not too bogus anyway. Now watch the down. I just left small space at the down. Okay, for the folding, the weaving and the folding. And I'm cutting the sides. So this is the front of my dress. It is ready. All right, now let's cut the back. The back of this dress, as you can see on the original back, does not have any folding, so any opening, but mine will have a kind of an opening. Okay, it will have a kind of an opening, but first you can see I left space. There's a space, more like a zip allowance space. More like a zip allowance space. I want the rope on mine to go through all the shoulder to the chest and stop at the center back. That is, you can see I opened it up. More like a zip allowance. Okay, this part I'm cutting accurately, no space. This is one of the easiest dress you can make yourself. Okay, it is very easy. Now let me show you how I will be sewing this. All right, this is it. This is how it looks. The first thing is you sew your rope. Please sew enough rope. Your rope should be long enough. Okay, but once the rope is done, the next thing is, this is the fabric. You do double folding on the armhole first, or the armhole. Once you're done with the armhole, double folding, neatly finished, the next part you need to go to, all right, is this part. Fold it and fold. This is where the rope will pass through. You fold and fold. This is where the rope, all right, will pass through. The same thing with this front. All right, once you're done with the armhole, all right, double folded, before you now fold this part that the rope will pass.